paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, yeah, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin Hostler. I'm joined as always by my co-hosts, DJ, Jason, and Cass. And, just kidding. Pop quiz, hot shots. We're not opening tonight talking about magic. We're opening tonight with some judgment on the three of you, brought on by a pre-show conversation with Jason. Jason, I need to know how many tabs you have open in your browsers right now.
Browsers, plural. Across two monitors, I have 17 tabs.
That's quite a few, my man.
I have a tab open in an incognito window right now. That's how I do my banking. I do my banking in incognito windows.
Your accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I read the articles.
Cass, DJ, how many tabs are you looking at?
I have Twitter open on both monitors. I have Facebook open on both monitors. I have Gmail open on both monitors. Not necessary.
I do that every now and again too.
I have one tab currently.
And it's a Discord browser tab, right?
No, it's actually
Yeah.
it's TweetDeck.
Well, that's what brought this on. We realized Jason goes to discord.com.
Listen, not to record the podcast, although I did last week. The app is much better on the desktop. I have the app. It's not like I don't have the app.
Well,
I accidentally last week recorded in the discord.com tab because that's what I use to type to people during the day. I don't have the application open. I just have a window open and I just type Discord messages. So I already had it open. I was like, oh yeah, Discord. I'll just go into the thing. So I went into the thing and then it was bad last week.
What were you saying?
Yeah, we were
Cass?
looking at you through a CRT monitor.
Yeah, but
great.
It was something.
But the
last
people
week
who
for sure.
who watched on YouTube, and thank you for watching on YouTube, they won't notice because I record my own video separate. So what they see isn't what you see.
sure.
To answer your question, Corbin, I'm at 15, but 3 of those can be closed if I felt like it.
But they're not.
They could all be closed
So-
if you felt like it, DJ. You're just a coward.
Cass, go ahead.
I have a plugin, a custom plugin that when I go over 10 tabs in Chrome, it just kills all of them, and that does not let me recover them. And it keeps me honest. I tend to stick around 4 tabs per window of Chrome, and I tend to have 2 windows open, one for each monitor.
Wow. Okay.
I almost never go over 8. However, occasionally when I'm doing a deep dive for something, I go over and I have to redo everything, and it keeps me honest.
I'm at 6 at the moment, which is not bad. Although my son recently closed all of mine while I was gone, and I couldn't recover them
Now.
either. So I'm sure there's some I'm missing, but I don't know what they are. So
How
that sucks.
many icons are on your desktop?
Well, I was wondering about that,
my
asking people
desktop?
about their inboxes.
I think taskbar or toolbar down at the bottom is acceptable. Let's
I have-
not go full desktop.
I only have 2 things at the bottom. I have maybe 5 rows of icons, though. I got much.
Now, the folder you have in your pictures folder that says 2022 taxes, what's in that folder? Because all 4 of our answers will be different.
So I have my entire desktop is covered wall to wall with stuff.
Oh man.
And there are a dozen folders on there full of other stuff. And then in Chrome, I have a couple hundred bookmarks sorted into folders. I don't like keeping things open, but I like keeping things accessible.
The only thing I have on my desktop is every guest recording I've done on a podcast. Because when I want to go to send it to the editor, I save it to my desktop because it's real easy to find on the desktop. I don't want to... It's either you put it in a maze of nested folders and you think you know where it is, or you put it on your desktop in one mouse click and you know exactly where it is. So my whole desktop is
Grandpa.
just...
I save everything to my desktop too. It's just correct.
Yeah, it's easy to find.
It's ideologically correct to just save it to your desktop.
Next time...
And then you can just alphabetize you can highlight them all and alphabetize them to find something easier.
You all are inspiring me to clean up my desktop as we speak. That's where we're at so far in this podcast.
I have
the value,
I have a link to
yeah,
something
the value.
called Raft. What is that? Is that a game friends used to play together before they drifted apart?
I mean,
Well,
I
they
never
drift
played it with
apart.
y'all.
That's what they need the raft for, man.
This actually segues perfectly into the topic that I wanted to bring up today, which was mysteriously titled thumb drives in the show notes. So there is precedent for us talking about thumb drives on this podcast.
Cass's
Famously,
first appearance.
How much would it cost for you to ingest a thumb drive? Not unlike this little stick here. But I thought of another little fun game, and that is, what is your number to put an unknown thumb drive onto your computer?
Ooh.
Because I got this in a collection last week.
Can I air gap it? Or am I causing disastrous consequences for my entire family?
Are you skynetting yourself?
Yeah, if I can air gap the computer and at worst I lose a whole computer, that's fine. But if it's gonna dick with my network, I'm not into it.
Yeah, I just throw that shit in and see what's on there myself.
Lots of people do.
Of man.
Y'all don't have a burner computer to just try that shit on? Because I do. I have the laptop I used in high school.
That's what I was gonna say.
I do have some old computers too. That's why I asked about air gapping.
That thing probably doesn't even connect to the 5G internet or whatever they have. It can't ruin another whole network. It just loaded up on
If this
there.
computer
Easy.
worked, I'd still be using it. So
Yeah.
This is technological insight here from a lot of people.
no, but
We just talked about
but
how to
here's the
make-
deal.
we just talked about how to make ChatGPT show us dicks. So come on, where
It's
are we at?
it's
right
funny
now?
too because
Come
it's so
on.
easy to find dicks on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, this was brought on because I bought a collection last week that just had a laundry basket's worth of just dust, debris, thumb drives, a screwdriver, what looked to be some kind of Kmart box cutter or something.
I
And
love collection loot.
I figured I'd pitch what's the most random thing you found in a collection. This one, some of the highlights before we go on, some of the highlights were a Pokemon binder without the clasp, a screwdriver, some Star Wars Yoda earbuds, a Miss Pac-Man little wind-up toy.
Oh, a puck-shaped flask that said Joe Louis Arena on it. I had multiple friends that were like, please send that to me.
That one's on its way to Jason right now. A Wii U charging station without the cord. That was in there.
That means he had a Wii U. That's why he's selling his Magic cards. He's terrible with money.
The Wii U was a fine system, a perfectly reasonable system.
It reminded me of the
HD
movie
on
Kung
it.
Pao, which made me smile.
Sure.
There was a chick
never
that
seen
said
Kung Pao.
Wii U, whatever. You've never seen Kung Pao? Goodness.
No.
There's 3 of you on this cast now. I was relying on you to get my movie references.
I'm sorry. I really try. Jason, I've seen a lot of movies, but I have not seen Kung Pao.
It's not even good, so I can't be mad at you for not seeing a terrible movie, but it's hilarious, and I think.
But you should be mad at yourself for referencing a terrible movie that you can't expect anyone to have.
But when you reference a bad movie and
it's
there's
a cult
solidarity
movie.
of someone seeing it, it feels really
It's a
good.
cold movie that doesn't make it
It's
better.
a cult
Jason.
movie. It's got a cult following.
Like Midsummer.
It's a cult classic.
Oh, that's different.
Like Midsummer.
A cult movie is like Midsummer.
It's Straw Dogs is 2 kinds of cult movie. That's funny.
The funniest thing the strangest thing I found in a collection was a half full bottle of Dilaudid.
Ooh.
What is that?
What?
It's a
for those who
painkiller
don't know.
It's
a painkiller they don't really prescribe anymore, I think, because it's so intense.
Oh.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think I was 19 when I found this. I did not take any, but one of my friends did. Apparently it was a good time.
Well, you missed out. I
Apparently.
wouldn't take mystery drugs. So when I found a desiccated nug in a shoebox full of cards I had purchased, I opted to flush it down the toilet rather than fire it up, because who knows
Just fire it up.
what kind of pesticides
That
or whatever.
sounds terrible.
Smoking this dude's lint. No thanks, man. I'm not into it. Would you lick the back of your PS4 that's still plugged in? No.
That's not a good. Don't start going down that road
It's-
because when my Nintendo 64 games aren't working, licking is part of the solution.
Licking is often part of the solution.
I was in an orthodontist chair when I was like 9 or 10 years old. And one of the dentist kids was like running around the office crying because his Pokemon Yellow was not working. And I felt like a hero just sitting in that chair, like, hand it to me, young one. Blew at it, put it back in. I was a miracle worker that day.
It didn't work, but DJ was a miracle worker.
It did. It did work.
Good for you. You made some kids dream. Speaking of kids, I was at the Hunter Burden Memorial Open over the weekend. There's a story for you. There was some other card game there by the name of Cryptic. I don't know anything about it. All I know is I walk in on Friday afternoon. I go meet the coverage, the crews doing some of the streaming that I was going to be working with. I'm like, hey, all, what's up? They're like, yeah, we're getting a busy start. We just got done with Chumley, and we're just getting ready for the next event. And I was just kind of like, what? Apparently, Jason's boy Chumley is a big player of this game and was at the Hunter Burden to play the game Cryptic. So that was a good start to the weekend.
Who?
It was very interesting, I have to say.
Like Pawn Stars Chumley?
Oh, like Pawn Stars Chumley.
I thought he died.
JJ shared an elevator with him. Very much alive, from what I understand.
Did a third person share that elevator? Probably not, right?
I'm just saying.
I was just like, I had the exact same reaction. Look, when they told me, I was just like,
Chumley?
I know the name, but what? Like, what? This is these aren't contexts that are supposed to mix.
I want to remind everyone that you said speaking of kids, I have a story.
I understand yes, you're right. Moving on to the Magic
but
event.
that made sense to no. DJ's concerned because it made sense to you. We know you acknowledging that it doesn't make sense to us, and that's fine. Doesn't excuse the part where you said something that sounded real weird to us. So I would like you to explain why your brain connected. Speaking of kids, to a story about Chumley.
Because I was at the Hunter Burden Memorial Open. I was doing interviews. I was helping run the coverage. I was doing commentary. You can go check it out on Twitch. It was great. On Friday, there was a $250 buy-in RCQ for Phyrexia Sealed.
Did you get a
One
collector's box?
It was a 5K. One of the players, I guess, was involved with this Cryptic game, which is why I thought of the Chumley. So they did not play in it. However, they sent their 10-year-old son to play in the event. So 3 rounds later, their 10-year-old son is 3-0 in the RCQ 5K Phyrexia All is One. They get paired against a Moz in round 4. And a Moz desperately wants to double draw into the top 8 and offers a draw after the game. And the kid goes, no, I don't know anything about that. I've never done anything like that. Let's just play.
Kid said I came to game for real.
Yes.
Nobody who says that has ever lost.
They go to game 3. Amaz tries to get them to split again. Kid says no. Kid goes 1 drop. Amaz goes like tap land. Kid goes 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop. Wins the game on turn 5.
Ooh.
Goes on to top 4 the tournament. An incredible story.
Yeah,
we
you
got
can't
him.
shoulder check
Daquan
your way out of that
Watson was
one.
there doing coverage with me. He did a great interview with the kid if you want to go check it out. So shout out to that 10-year-old crushing Magic tournaments. All right, it is time for the first segment of the night. It's Breaking Bulk.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
And I'm going to kick things off because in honor of Shadows over Innistrad coming to MTG Arena, I'm very excited. I really enjoyed the Shadows over Innistrad Eldritch Moon formats. I was looking at an Innistrad set recently, and I noticed that there is a red common in Innistrad Crimson Vow. That's well
It's
worth
the
picking
exile
up.
your top 2 cards. You may play them until next turn.
Wrong, DJ.
Is it Flame Blessed Bolt?
Nope.
Is it a creature?
DJ felt so confident that it was Reckless Impulse.
Because his Roku picks that card for him.
The joke, however, is on DJ because there are 2 red cards worth picking
Jason,
in this set.
every person I know who I have talked about my sorting machine to above the age of 50 calls it a Roku.
That's so funny.
I do. It is an easy trap to fall into.
No, I love. He hates it.
I know. JJ and I were talking about it over the weekend, and I kept hearing Roku in my head too,
I know.
so I get it. Yep.
DJ hates it.
Is
don't
Voltaire an epicure?
Cass is trying to play the game. Get out of here. What do you got, Cass?
Voltaire an epicure?
That's a good guess. I know what you're thinking of. The 1-drop.
The one that makes a blood token.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
That is a good guess. However, that is not it. It is a creature, though. It is a human shaman.
Uncommon?
Common.
Common.
He's like a
Common
Reckless
shaman.
Impulse Reckless Impulse is the most expensive common in the set. Undying Malice, which is used in the modern scam deck, is the second, and then this red card is the third.
So it's a
75 cents.
It's a common shaman?
Common Shaman. It's a 1/3 for 2 mana. Well, I'll go ahead and just declare victory right there.
I've never heard of that card. What does Declare Victory do?
It's Kessig Flame Breather.
That was
it's like
Crimson
when you
Vow?
cast a spell ping somebody, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Non-creature spell
I
from somebody.
I don't know what
If
sets
DJ
those
hadn't
cards are
guessed
from.
Reckless Impulse so fast, it might have been Reckless Impulse. But nope. It was Kessig Flame
Well,
Breather.
DJ thought he had it right, and before he could think, he blurted it out in what can only be described as a reckless impulse.
Boo!
I agree with the boos. Jason, for that,
Why are you
go
booing
next,
me? I'm
buddy.
right.
What do you got? Do people not have cell phones? All right, go ahead.
I have a card from Dominaria United. Was 10 sets ago, so you might not remember anything from that. But it is a
That was a
green
while
uncommon.
ago. It wasn't even the last
Terra
Dominaria
Sunder?
set.
Terra Sunder, is that what you said?
That's my first guess, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a great try to stump people with card. It's I go across an uncommon from an imprint set. That's $2. I notice. Card Kingdom wants $2 for this, which means it's $2. You can say that TCG Player has it for less, but Card Kingdom sells them for $2, so they're $2. And don't bulk them out. I'm still getting a ton of bulk from this set because it came out less than 6 months ago. But
I like that.
it's rotated out of standard already, so people are bulking it out, and I'm getting Terra Sunders in bulk, and it feels real good. So
You know it's not rotated out of standard yet because Shieldred hit like $70 because everyone's buying a playset for the regional championship, for the standard regional championship.
Yeah, it's still got another few months, I believe.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about it. Is it's just like Shieldred hit $70 because nobody cared about this set then, and now everyone needs 4 for standard.
And it turns out Shieldred is dead.
JJ, make
Did you
an
all know this?
on-screen counter every time
I'm a
Jason makes
story.
it's been so many sets since so many sets. Just a little ding or a little like pop up in like Comic Sans font or something.
Well,
right
the
over
sad
his
part
eyes.
is when Jason makes it, he's never that far off.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
it
actually
honestly
curious-
might have
I
been
was
more than
barely
6
being
sets ago.
hyperbolic, but
Yeah.
DJ's
Yeah, it
using
might have
his
been-
fucking SpongeBob font to describe it, so real rational, my guy.
the verbal SpongeBob font. I
I'm
like
sure
that.
it has nothing to do with JJ. Crop out the bottom half of DJ's face so it looks like he can barely see over his desk. Can you do that for me?
So, just so we're clear, Shieldred, I read the New Phyrexian story, the new Phyrexian story, part of it. Shieldred apparently was not a very good Phyrexian, despite being the most expensive Phyrexian. And Elish Norn said, no more Shieldred. So, I would like to see
Luca kill
Standard do the same thing. The card's $75. And everybody is on it for RCQs. Grixis
Jason's
has been
counting
the
his
most
frosted
popular
tips
deck
and
by
his
far.
height edge against me. That's not fair.
Do you know what frosted
Ooh.
tips are?
That took you like a full 2 minutes
I
to
was
come
waiting
up with.
for Corbin.
He wrote that
That's
joke
fair.
back when people still frosted their tips. Nothing on that. Okay. All right.
Jason, you had frosted tips once. Anyone who has had frosted tips once has frosted tips forever in their heart.
That's true. You can't unfrost your tips, my
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Well, I'm not gonna like blaspheme against our Lord and Savior Guy Fieri anyway.
I was at your house last week. I saw the fire crocs. Like, you can't just undo that.
You bought those for me.
Yeah, Yeah, and they're still
Okay.
on your
Because
doormat.
they're warm.
As an aside, has anyone seen the Margaritaville Crocs?
No,
They have like a little salt shaker charm. They got like a little shot glass. It's like on the Crocs. You can pop it off and take a shot with it.
Yes.
They're Margaritaville themed. They got like a little lime that you can put on there. Yeah. I need them expeditiously.
I'm really thinking about just leaning hard into being a parrot head because it would piss my wife off so much. But I know that like after a month it wouldn't be ironic. I would be listening to Jimmy Buffett and I'd be like, oh shit, this is actually really chill music. I get why
Buffett's
stressed people
gas.
become parrot heads. Because he's just all about like, hey, forget about your job, put your feet in the sand. I'm old. I probably did some really sketchy sexually in the 70s, but it's looking like at this point I'm going to die before those allegations come to light. So have a margarita, have a cheeseburger in paradise, and listen to some songs. The concert ends at 9 o'clock because I know you're all tired. Gainesville, Florida, I'm Jimmy Buffett. Then he plays that song about drinking or whatever. Awesome.
Have you ever been to a Margaritaville, Jason?
The restaurant? Yeah, I have, dude.
My breaking bulk is a red common from Scars of Mirrodin.
Cool the Rebirth.
Yeah.
Love that card.
Cards up to like almost $3.
Because it makes 1,000,000 goblin tokens for a mana.
Yeah.
Well, and because there's another version of it, so you can.
Is
go
it one
8.
printing or is
It's
it
one printing.
Okay, yeah.
Foils are like $20. I had a Japanese foil in an old EDH deck that I found, and I was like, "What's this worth?" Threw it on TCG and got like $30 for it instantly.
Nice.
Love that.
Nice, yeah. I've played a lot of really bad decks with the Kodoltha Rebirth, but my favorite was in Standard when there was a Kodoltha Rebirth Linthawk Mimnite deck.
Yep.
That would aim to put a bunch of counters on Quests for the Holy Relic and go get an Argenum armor.
I don't know if
Like,
that was
that
a
was
red-white
a
deck. I think
great
that was a mono-white
standard.
deck.
I saw that mono white because you needed double white for core outfitter.
Yeah.
It was mono white. There was a separate deck that was the Kodoltha Rebirth Goblin Guide Bushwhacker deck. They got a
Yes.
precon in the same run that also had the Stoneforge precon.
Contested
There you
War
go. Yeah.
Zone, baby.
That card's so good, and people don't realize how
I
good
do
that card
remember
was.
that. I remember that card.
I went 3-1 at FNM playing the full precon because it turns out Stoneforge Mystic to go get Bone Horde or whatever it was is still fine, even in Standard.
Sword of Vengeance is also not a joke of a card. Like that card with the lights on.
Yeah.
All right. I have a Call Time White uncommon.
Youthful Valkyrie.
No, it's not even a creature, so get your angels out of here.
What did you say it was? I'm sorry.
Call Time White uncommon. I
Is
don't think it has any reprints.
is it
I'd
a
be very
saga?
surprised if it does. No.
I was thinking
No
it was
reprints.
a snow tutor, but I think the only snow tutor is rare.
It's rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has
played
nothing to do
that,
with snow
Or Angels.
or
It's
angels.
not a creature, you said. Also,
Not a creature.
Does it have the foretell mechanic?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Did I play this?
It's
Is
not
it
an
like an
E.
O-ring variant.
Nope.
Wow.
And it doesn't make Angels cost less mana.
Nope. You might need like a fire stick to get this one, or like a Roku or something like that, or
Yeah. am I
Yeah.
right?
I could use a Roku to look it up.
He's so
We
mad
good?
that I call it a Roku.
We good?
I don't think anyone knows the answer.
Yeah, I got nothing on this one.
Rune of Sustenance.
Oh, it's the goddamn rune. Oh,
Sure, that makes sense.
I thought of
It
every
is-
other mechanic in the set.
Yeah, kind of.
And there were a lot of them.
Call Time had runes, and there are runes that enchant permanents. This one is when it enters the battlefield to draw a card. If it's a creature, it has lifelink. If the enchanted permanent is an equipment, the card gives the equipment the ability to give lifelink. So,
Sure.
little roundabout, but there's plenty of aura / enchantment support / like open the armory kind of vibes. Gets your equipments, or it gets this. You have a lot of versatility in what you put this on.
Yeah.
You could put it on a land and turn it into a creature. You could like Kessig Wolf run some weird stuff. You can do a lot of things with these, and it does just flicker itself to draw a card every time it comes in with your replenish or whatever. So it is useful. You can sell them for like 50 cents.
That's a good break in bulk.
I think we kind of crushed that segment this week.
No, I didn't. I was like, hey, don't throw away a car that's worth $2.
I mean, DJ
Hey
got mine
guys,
in,
did
like,
you know that if a
second.
car is valuable,
good
you
card to
shouldn't
pick.
bulk it out?
good advice. It's good advice.
Hi, I'm Jason. I've been doing this for a decade, and I still have plenty of good advice to offer. Like, if you have the booster pack, don't tear up the cards in it. People
Why do
don't
you
like
sound
when
like
you
an
do that.
Acme anvil landed on your head and you're all scrunched up?
Should you answer? Should you open those packs, Jason?
What? No. What? Who? No. Which packs?
The one in my hand.
Don't open packs. Then you know what's in
Why?
them. Oh, did you open a pack?
Opening packs rules. Opening boosties is the most fun thing a girl can do without taking her clothes off. But it's more
I
fun
Oh, you got a
Okay,
to-
no,
Phyrexian arena. Cool. If it were 2018, that would be great, because then you could put it in an EDH deck. What did I get? Bam! Mercurial Spell Dancer. I got a DJ card.
Hey, that's a legacy card.
Open a booster pack.
So
me
JJ
too.
and I were opening up
Oh
packs
my
at the
God,
Hunter
I hate
Burden
all of you.
over the
DJ,
weekend.
it's a rogue. It's an unblockable rogue. You can't resist.
We had
I
the
do actually
experience
need-
of opening up cool cards and collector boosters, and then looking up the prices of them and seeing that's $1.20. Full art etched foil of Mythic, $1.45.
Oh shit!
Cash, should I open this?
Yes.
I just opened this.
What is that?
It's a Gyarados EX from one of my prize boosties for my Pokemon pre-release.
Hell yeah.
Poppin' boosties
Pokemon
is
boosties
fun.
are way more
You know
fun.
what's the best? People who are not watching this on YouTube, because hardly anybody does that. They don't know.
I have
what
one
we're doing.
light pack and one heavy pack.
I'll open the heavy pack. Is it first edition?
Is that no? It's
No.
Fossil, right?
Fossil has first edition.
Oh, okay.
They are both fossil, but
sorry.
not first edition though.
I was like, "Is that first edition?" No, it's Fossil. You idiot.
It's not base set. I said first edition.
I'm sorry. I don't. I forgot how much you know about Pokemon. I thought I was gonna chime in with the literal one thing I know about Pokemon cards because my brother played it in the 90s.
All right, I will finish the cycle and open a pack. I'll put it against the microphone so you get that full crinkle.
We're a pack opening cast now.
And you know, I don't know what my rare will be from this because we went with Homelands.
Okay.
I think it's the Temerian Fiends.
Just a little
right?
open up a little
so.
Homelands
I
pack.
think it's the Temerian Fiends. I opened a reserved list card. It has been added to the supply. You're welcome, everyone. More reserved list cards on the market. Brainstorm Brewery 2023. You heard it here first.
They're reprinting reserve list cards via DJ.
It's a good that they're getting creative with the solutions, you know? I respect that. And speaking of, you can use some of the money you're going to keep, and you can go to Coalesce Apparel and use a gift code Brainstorm Brewery, and then you see what Jason's got right there. That's an
is available
EDH
now
rec hoodie.
also.
You can go to-
Support everybody.
That's right. That's the best part of Coalesce Apparel and Design, that all of the Magic content creators who are interested are a part of the website. You can get gear from any of your favorite content creators, of your streamers, and your companies. And EDH Rec is on there now. And of course, you can get BSB gear as well. Use that gift code Brainstorm Brewery. All right, we move back to our regularly scheduled game, which is becoming more and more a feature of the schedule here. And it continues to lead all segments in name popularity. We do sort of like straw polls of our listeners to figure out, because I know you
Corbin,
think
they're
we
called
just make
focus
up
groups.
shit.
Corbin, it's
Yeah,
2023.
well, okay, yeah.
2023. They're called focus groups. Just
Yeah,
get
you
behind.
think people think we just make it up? No, okay. We focus group out these names, and that is how we landed on MTGStocks Game.
games
and
are
in
fun.
this-
Stocks are
Mhm. Stonks are
when
fun.
they're not collapsing.
Yeah, but in this case, these are stonks that are great stonks, because we are talking about the Streets of New Capenna triomes, or not triomes, but you know what I mean. The tri-lands from Streets of New Capenna. There are 5 of them. For people who don't want the colors in Grixis and Capenna, it's Grixis, Esper, Naya, Jund, and one I'm going to be missing there, of course, would be Bant. So those are the 5 we are looking at. It is Raffine's Tower, Xander's Lounge, Deotor's
I'm not.
Proving
Don't
Ground,
say these words. That's.
Jetmir's Garden.
Stop. It's Jund.
Mrs.
It's
Apothecary.
Naya. It's Bant. That's how I'm going to answer this question. I can either think about the right answer or I can think about what the Bant one's called. I don't.
You can think about which one's
this
what.
is some like pat your tummy like.
I hated this, by the way. I liked when they. I could at least understand when we did Ikoria and they named it after new factions.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that. Like there's Lorehold and there's Boros. I get it, but naming them things like Raffine's Tower and Xander's Lounge, I think was a little much.
I want to say that the most expensive one is Jund.
I think Xander's Lounge is the most expensive on buy lists, at least.
That's Jund, right?
No, that
Jund
that's
is Ziator's Proving Ground.
I think it's Grixis, Esper.
I think it's Grixis, Esper, Jund.
You think
Naya,
Esper's more than Jund?
Bant?
Wow.
Esper's seeing a lot of play in
Naya's
Standard and Pioneer.
Naya's the cheapest, I bet.
I think Bant is the cheapest.
I think it's Naya then Bant.
Really?
Yeah. I think.
I'm not 100% confident, but it's what I'm going with.
The Bant one doesn't really see any play anywhere. The Naya one is seeing play in Modern.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Naya one, and then you can fetch a. You play the.
It gets you into cattle.
You play the Sultai one with Sacred Foundry to have 5 colors for Leyline Binding, and you can play the Jetmir's Garden, the Naya one with Breeding Pool to play a 2-mana Leyline Binding.
Oh, nice.
I think that's the line. I don't know.
There was a lot of Leyline Binding going on over the weekend. I watched a lot of this triome math being done. All right, I have to say, if we've got some answers locked in here, this is the worst. This is the worst you all collectively have ever performed at the MTGStocks game. Yeah, I mean, look, all of these cards are within several dollars, right? But the top one is Raffine's Tower, the Esper one, followed by Grixis, Xander's Lounge. Bant is the third most expensive one.
See, I knew Bant was more expensive than Naya.
Naya is fourth, and Ziator's Proving Ground, the Jund one, is the least expensive of the bunch. None of these cards are the most expensive in the set. So Ledger Shredder and Unlicensed Hearse are both worth more, and then it's these 5, right? But
I was basing my answers off their relative popularity in EDH, thinking I could reverse engineer it, but it turns out that for whatever reason, Modern seems to matter way more.
I mean, these cards they really are a staple of one of the best decks in Modern.
Yeah. With
the creativity type, and even when you start talking Bant's or whatever, right? The triomes are just an integral part of Magic, and it's actually fine with me. They're great, right?
Yeah, they're very fair.
Now I saw them come out and I recognized how awesome they are. Now I basically only want to open New Capenna collector boosters because I want the full art foil triomes. But they're also one of the only hits in the collector boosters for the set.
What's the most expensive mythic in that set right now?
The most expensive mythic in Streets of New Capenna. Any guesses?
I'm guessing Obnixious or Elspeth.
I was even know
say
what's
Titan
in
of
that
Industry.
set.
Well, this is just sad. Oh, I'm just sad looking at these mythics.
I want to say like the 6-mana green card that's just keywords and stuff.
You ready for this? Luxior Giada's Gift, the mythic equipment, is number 1.
Oh, goodness.
Right behind it is Urabrask. A printing of Urabrask anyway.
Okay.
I think a special printing.
Well, the concept
Bootlegger
one
Stash.
is not even in Capenna Pack.
Bootlegger Stash sucks. I've never seen a Bootlegger Stash on a mat.
That's what I was going to say. The Bootlegger Stash you've never seen in play is the third most expensive mythic. I'm just working down the list here.
What's it cost?
Whatever they were available.
It's like $5 or $6, I think.
Is Bootlegger Stash more than Bolus's Citadel? Because that'll make me sad.
Bolus's Citadel is 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bolus's Citadel has a promo version.
Yep.
But it sees play.
And a secret lair, as a matter of fact.
But it sees play is my point.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, it's post-Citadel.
I recently traded for a Bootlegger Stash to put in a treasure deck because I just wanted more treasures, and it's probably not even going to make the cut.
Yeah, it's
the commander from Baldur's who makes your treasures tap for green, and then it's the Guild Artisan background. That's the deck. I don't even think Bootlegger Stash makes that deck.
But here's the thing: everybody that called me a moron for saying I thought it was a bad card.
Yeah.
get to move on with their lives. And I'm the one stuck with the memory of that incident. They get to forget about it, because if they remembered all the times they said something stupid and then they were completely wrong, they wouldn't talk anymore. So I'm the one that is stuck with, they farted in an elevator then left. That's what they did to my life, and that's not fair.
This is why they say cutting your nose off to spite your face, right? That you can solve that problem, Jason.
Dakota from NRG posted recently about sort of the depths of Facebook groups of Magic, and how most of the Magic players in the world just never interact. Like, they don't know what a deck list is. They don't know what just how the ecosystem works. And it reminded me of one of my favorite comments on a Magic preview ever. It was 2013 core set preview time, and some store was posting Magic previews on Facebook, and they posted a Chroma's Memorial. And one of the comments in all caps, as it would be, is, "This is the end of Red."
Hey, do you remember that? That one's nice.
That's a good one for sure.
I have a friend, she used to, back in like the early days of Mythic Spoiler, she would go on there, and because it posted with your Facebook picture, she would just post the most incorrect opinions, like say something that the card doesn't do. And when people corrected her, she was just like, "Oh, yeah, I don't understand these things because I'm a woman. I don't understand how these things work." I'm glad she's doing well.
Well, thank you to MTGStocks for that game, as always. You can find more of these in the future. And you know what? If you have a cycle or a set you think's got some surprising cards in the most expensive spots, let us know. I'm always taking suggestions for new things to stump these three with. All right, let's move on to the next big thing in Magic. I see an EDH hoodie there, Jason, but would that have been an Oathbreaker hoodie?
That is possible. Oathbreaker actually is a website that you can find on the Internet Wayback Machine. We used to have an Oathbreaker. We didn't get any decks, and we did not get any views, so we stopped having an Oathbreaker, but we were all about supporting that format in the beginning. If people were going to make decks for it, we were going to have the decks for them. So if we were to get an influx in interest and an influx in decks on the sites that we scrape, which is basically all of them, if we start getting a bunch of Oathkeeper decks...
Oathbreaker.
Oathkeepers are those weirdos, sorry. Yeah, if we get a bunch of Oathbreaker stuff, we'll make an oathbreaker.com. We already have the domain and everything. It's just we took it down because we weren't getting decks. If Wizards supporting it, this little bit that they have, makes it more popular, yeah, it'll be if there is enough Oathbreaker out there that people are playing it, you will be able to find Oathbreaker stuff at Oathbreaker or Oathrek.com.
I mean, I wasn't even trying to tee you up, but that was a perfect pitch.
But people ask about it.
If people play it.
The only reason we stopped was because people weren't playing it. If this makes them start, then it's already a thing that we can just flip a switch on. So I hope it's a thing just because it's a fun format. I played it a little bit.
The context here is that Wizards announced official support for the format, whatever that means. And what that I think likely means is that there's a rule set. There's
when you say official support, I do
not like high level. We're not talking events.
That does not mean that they are making pre-constructed products or designing things for this format.
They're just going to leave it
means alone. In the same vein as like the Pauper is an officially supported format, and that you can ask your local game store to click a button, and your event will be sanctioned as a Pauper event.
Yeah, and that matters for those people, right? And it matters to Wizards too. If people are playing or trying to hold events for a format, you want to be able to know what format it is, so you have data on formats that people are choosing to play, right? Like everybody sort of benefits. So I think some people thought making it into a big deal or whatever, but I know no one's trying to replace Commander, and no, Oathbreaker is not going to be the next big thing. And I don't know if I share Jason's assessment of the format. I've only heard the horror stories of lock pieces out of the command zone where you have so you can have a legendary creature or planeswalker, I believe, is your leader.
Planeswalker.
Okay, just a planeswalker is your leader, and then their signature spell. But I think one of the examples I saw was Teferi and the card Silence.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
that one's good. But
go ahead.
I think people like kind of people's first inclinations were like, what lock pieces can I use? But like, you can just get people dead. You can just play like the new Tyvar and Entomb for a Hermit Druid. Like, I think the format has a lot of issues of 60 card, even singleton 60 card constructed decks, even in 4-player formats, have problems of like, it's too easy to be a spike in that format.
Yeah.
And I think you really have to see like a cultural shift to doing more casual things. Like, one of the reasons why Commander is so casual on the whole is they have an example every couple of months of like new decks. People are onboarded into Commander through buying a $30 precon or whatever, which has the power level of a $30 precon.
Yeah.
Even the new ones are strong. Like, you go to play Oathbreaker your LGS, and all you have is people playing optimized lists or lists they've worked on for a while. I think that's the issue for me, is that you're not going to have an onboarding process that is lower power level.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels to me, obviously, there's room, and the point is, the subcontext of all this is there's room in the community for all these formats. It's good that Wizards giving them support. I don't see myself being like, I need another format to put together another casual deck in. But that's somebody who got burned having a Canadian Highlander deck. So
what happened?
Who am I to judge?
Why don't you play Canadian Highlander anymore, Corbin?
We don't talk about it since the incident, so that's okay.
Also, if you want to play a 60-card singleton format, that's really cool. Australian Highlander is pretty dope. I played a bit of it. It's one of the things I play with vendors. It's 7-point Highlander with 60 cards.
Okay.
I played Sultai Control with, like, my points were like Oko, Mana Drain, Mystic Sanctuary, Lutri was my companion. Like, that, it was dope.
I would only play New Zealand Highlander with you when you were intoxicated.
Yep.
You know, if you buy me a beer, I will play Aussie Highlander with you and do the Reese Darby voice the whole time.
Done.
It's a bargain price right there.
It's got to be like a good beer, though. It can't be. I need at
Well,
least like a
I
nice
hope DJ's not cheaping
Hefeweizen.
out. Yeah. Okay.
I want to.
All right,
I want to
well,
try my Reese Darby voice, but I don't want to do it on the podcast because what if it's really bad?
Afterwards.
And what if it's really good and then everybody wants me to do that?
All right, before we get out of here this week, let's finish up with some picks of the week brought to you, as always, by MTGStocks.com. You know it, you love it. It's the best resource on the internet for all of your Magic financial needs. You can get price alerts. You can set up alerts for underpriced cards. You can get better trends. The premium side of MTG Stocks is 100% something you want to check out while you're clicking around all your Brainstorm Brewery links, going to Coalesce, using that gift code, helping us out on patreon.com/BSB. Maybe consider MTG Stocks as well, because it is what we use for all of our prices.
Even if you don't spend your currency, you should spend your time just clicking links. Okay, so like let's say you work for $20 an hour. That's pretty reasonable. Instead of giving us that $20, if you spend a half hour just blindly clicking links that lead to our affiliates, and like pop on some VPN action, get some links for us from Australia or something, that'd be great. Like just
New Zealand too.
Just do. It doesn't exist. Not on a map. Just do labor for us. For like a half hour, just like, you know how Mr. Beast is having people like fix Walmart shelves? Click links for us. Out of admiration.
That's
what
right.
we're really saying is we are the Mr. Beast of MTG Finance.
That's what I was hearing right there.
We did get fans.
I don't know what level
did
of
giveaways, so maybe we.
What
should
level of capitalism is? Hey, fans, please go to Walmart and fix their shelving for them. I don't know what stage of capitalism that is, but it's like a post-mortem. It's like post-mortem.
Right? No, he's like he's the internet Elon Musk. All his money came super easy, and so he's like thinks I have to be the person who's in charge of telling everybody what to do. That's why I don't pay my taxes.
Psyop.
Yeah.
He's like the Subway guy from the show Community. Like, he is a brand, or they made him into a person.
Yeah, they worked backwards and arrived at that average. Dude,
Citizens United has consequences.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
All right, pick of the week. I'm going to go first because I watched a lot of Modern over the weekend, and I saw some stuff I enjoyed. And then I got to looking at charts. So I'll start with a little Pioneer update. The new hotness in Pioneer. A little bit of cards you might have heard of before, named Neoform, Hooting Mandrills, Hassiger, and Atraxa.
What about Soul Flayer?
Soul Flare. How much does that one cost? 6?
Yes,
Or is it
it's
5?
It's a 6 drop.
I think it's black.
Oh yeah,
4.
Soul Flare at 6. I don't know. That may be. I saw people popping off in the top 8 of the 5K modern or Pioneer event, getting their Houdin Mandrills out and then neoforming it into an Atraxa and drawing 10 cards or whatever. That the 6, 7, the average is. That card's nuts. But one of the other decks I saw do well, a little throwback here, was Crabvine, and I got to look at some of the cards in that deck. And Gravecrawler, coming off a reprint and Jumpstart and Double Masters, is definitely at a low right now of about $3. It started to creep up a little bit on the chart. So I've been a big fan of. This is a card that was previously $10, and with the way Modern is going right now, it's a very, very, very. We had 8 different decks in the top 8. We had 20-something decks on camera over the course of the weekend. There is a lot going on in the format, so I would not be surprised.
Explain to somebody who sells
season.
Corbin. Explain to somebody who sells a lot of endurances why Gravecrawler is good.
Because
that person is me, by the way.
Yeah, the reason you're selling those endurances is because Gravecrawler is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer was in the question there.
Okay, that's fine.
If the card's so good, how come I'm selling so many Grafdigger's cages, huh? Figure that out.
All right, Jason, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at a picture of the outline of a plane with a bunch of red dots on it. I was reminded of it.
I've seen this. I've seen this one.
I like the under $5 Eerie Ultimatum, which is under $5 on TCG Player in both the borderless and regular treatment. All the Ultimata are pretty busted. The Jeskai one, not great. But the decks where the Jeskai decks are the ones that could take advantage of it. So I think all the Ultimata. I think all the Ultimata are...
Okay, I was going to give you props for just going with that plurality and just the confidence of the straight white man you are. But, like, you stuttered at the end. You lost that confidence on the set. You're like, am I right? Is my worldview correct?
It's a Nissan Altima.
So
if you just stuck with it, I was going to give you, like, you know what?
I don't care about props from you, man. I consider you like my son or like my nephew or something, so like I don't need your approval.
You don't want your son to approve of you?
I mean, I don't need it. I don't need it.
That's not a good one, man.
You just desperately crave it. Got it.
All right, DJ, pick
I
of the
don't
week.
crave my 3.5-year-old son's approval is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Because he still shits himself, so...
As soon as he figures out the toilet, though... He'll have all the power in the relationship.
Did you know Dad used to be cool?
Daddy bought a $1,000 toilet for $2,000 toilets for you, son.
My wife bought the other one. Thank you very much.
DJ, did your Roku give you a pick of the week?
No, my Roku is bad at finding picks of the week, but it is good at finding picks that have a very flat graph. And that flat graph is Fauna Shaman from Brothers War. This is a card that was pretty expensive, and then it got reprinted in Ultimate Masters. It's like $1 now, and the card's powerful. There might be too much supply for it to ever...
There's way too much supply.
Climb back, but I mean...
Maybe. It's Pioneer legal. If it ever gets good in Pioneer, we'll ship all the copies to Japan, and it'll be $5 in the US.
That's a good point.
Yeah. The Dredgevine comment also made me think, like, wait, I played Hedron Crab and Vengevine and Fauna Shaman in Standard. Like,
wait, Tyvar gives it pseudo haste.
That deck was incredible. Fauna Shaman to go find all your Bloodbraid Elves. It was dumb.
Yeah, it was.
But Fauna Shaman's $1. That is my pick.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly think it's a great pick at that price point for sure. But also because, look, I'll bring it up again. Modern is in a weird place. That was a 500-person tournament for a lot of money, and Crabvine was in the running a lot of the way, and it was a deck like straight out of 2019. They've printed all these cards for Modern that are individually broken, and somehow together they've balanced the format. It's bizarre, but Modern's really kind of fun.
If everything's good, then everything sucks.
It's like the Mr. Burns, like all the diseases getting stuck in the door.
They can't all make their way through.
Yeah. All right, Cass, you have the honors going last. What are you looking at this week? Pick of the week.
So I have kind of a double pick of the week because one's a little avant-garde and one is extremely safe. My safe one is Reckless Impulse. We actually talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
In Legacy, with the banning of Expressive Iteration, I see people playing this in its stead. The card's really powerful. And it's like only like $1 or $2, and it has real room to move up if it starts seeing more play. That's my boring safe pick of the
Especially
week. My
foils of
avant-garde
that,
one.
right? If it's legacy playable.
Yeah, because it's like a $3 foil, $5 foil.
Yeah.
I can see that being
That's a-
reasonable. My avant-garde pick of the week is Dominaria United Jumpstart Booster Boxes.
Okay.
That's a
Let me
great
break this
set.
down.
It's such a good set.
So you can get them for about $55 shipped, post-tax. And in each pack, you get a full art stained glass land, which has about an average buy list of $1. So that's like $18 back on your purchase right away.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is some cards, like, you can't open any of the multicolor rares or mythics. You can't open a Leon of the Veil, but you can get Shieldred. And I don't know if the math works out perfectly, but over a big enough purchase of them, you probably get enough Shieldreds to make it work. Plus, you have things like Terra Sunder, Phoenix Chick, Chalarian Terror. It doesn't take a lot for that to be a good purchase. So that's something I'd be on the lookout for. Watch the prices of Dominaria United singles, because those things are not going up in price, and a lot of vendors are stuck with a lot of it because it was not a popular product.
Well, and this is when we're going to see, I mean, right, we're in March here. We always see prices climb in this time of the year, and then we're in top of that, we're in standard RC season. Some number of months from now, it'll be a different season, maybe a different format in all likelihood before we get to rotation. And I mean, it's nice. It's kind of nice to be talking about rotation and standard cards again. But yeah, I mean, Shieldred is a $75 card because people are playing paper standard.
No. Like, if with the way the math works, is if you can buy list your basics for $1 a piece, if you open one Shieldred every other box, which you're not guaranteed to do, I think you're not likely to do, but if you do, that pays for both the boxes, and everything else is gravy. In addition to the basics, it pays for both the boxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
I like to gamble a little bit.
Yeah. I'll give you a vintage pick of the week. I went up to the vintage champion to take pictures, and I hadn't watched the match, and I was like, hey, this is a really cool format. A lot of people playing paper vintage here, right? This was a no proxy tournament. What's your deck called? I only saw a couple pieces of it. And they looked at me and they were like, it's called Mono White Initiative. And then I decided that I was quitting Magic.
Get your White Plume Adventurers again.
I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, do you think Steve Menindian put a chapter in his book for this? How do you gush when your opponent lava axes you from a card from D&D on turn 2? How do you gush? How do you gush that?
I posted a picture on Twitter a week and a half back or so of me playing a game of Legacy where I have 3 volcanic islands in play and my opponent has like an attraction face up, a Triumph of St. Catherine. There was like a D&D card too. They had the initiative somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you go back from that. It was kind of sweet, but I don't know how you go back from that, you know?
Well, you've got the tournament seemed to be people with all their power playing their decks they've been playing for 20 years. And the people are like, yeah, I just bought the cheapest version of these City of Traders I could get. And I got some commander cards, so I guess I'll win this thing.
I borrowed a Mox Pearl from my local rich guy, and yeah, easy.
Yeah. It was definitely something. All right, well, coming up for me is I think I'm going to be at the West Coast MPX event in Oakland coming up. That's what I've got on the schedule. It's
a couple weeks.
That's not a guarantee, but hopefully I'm there. What do you all got coming up on the schedule? Where can people find you?
I will be at MPX or MX, whatever you said. I'll be at Oakland.
I think it's MXP. Sorry. Yeah.
And then I will be in San Diego for DreamHack the week after that. And then I will be at Command Fest Richmond the week after that.
You are busy again. Yeah.
I will also be in Richmond for the Command Fest. And then I'm doing Minneapolis, not as a vendor, but as a spectator, player, person who hangs out on site. So
get her smoothies.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if I show up on the site at all. I bought a badge, but I might not show up to the site. I might just hang out at Lodestone.
Jason, you making it out to anything?
I'm not going to tell people where I'll be. It's going to be way harder to kill me if I announce where I'll be at the last second.
That's a good point.
Because, like, people will still try to kill me, but they won't have as much time to prep. And, like, that's how you stop Batman, right? You just don't give him any time.
You don't give him any time to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I'm not saying Batman's trying to kill me. I'm just saying if he is, I'm gonna make it hard for him.
I was under the impression there was a different, Batman has a safe word, and I thought you just used it.
Batman has a safe. I don't know Batman's safe word.
It's Martha.
It's sassafras.
Did you see Batman vs Superman? It's Martha.
I didn't know. Is that a good movie? I heard it was really good.
Are you kidding me? You've definitely seen that movie.
Nonsense.
Get out of here.
What's
Don't want to give me any credit. That was an incredible joke on my part.
Yeah, I don't want to give you any credit. You're right. I'm too insecure to accept that you made the most basic reference of all time before I could think of it. You're right.
Well, it's good that you're honest about that.
I can't even give it to you because it's already yours, Corbin. So I can't even applaud because you've already won. Is that what you want to hear? You're the funny one on this podcast, and I'm here to learn from you. Is that what the fuck you want to hear, Corbin?
Jason, it's not about what I want to hear. That's all. When I figure out what it's about, I'll let you know.
You mother...
Everybody, thank you for listening to this train wreck of a podcast.
How much of that can make the episode?
I have no idea.